Dear listener, this is Sincerely Sav, a love letter to growth, to pain that became purpose, and to the girl I'm still becoming. Every episode is a reflection, a heartbeat of my journey. If you've ever felt like you're becoming someone new, you're in the right place. Hello everybody, welcome to Sincerely Sav. I am your host, Sav. And we'll be talking about music, faith, spirituality, femininity, and those real moments that shape us. Right now, my oldest daughter is at my sister-in-law's house. My baby is asleep. So we finna talk for real, okay? Go ahead, grab your blankets, grab your coffee, and get comfortable. Let's get into the episode. For a lot of you guys that are following me on social media, you may have noticed that I've been kind of quiet the last year and a half or so. I've kind of taken a step back. Kind of get into that in this episode, talking about why I stepped away and what was going on in my life, what was going on in my head, and where I'm at now. First and foremost, the main reason why I took this break was I needed to get right with God. I was getting too lost in the sauce. I know for me, music is a passion. That is my purpose. Since I was a kid, I knew that I was put on this earth to do music. And as soon as I did start to pursue music, I accelerated. Like, doors were opening for me super quickly. And that's how I knew, okay, I'm doing what God wants me to do. Now, the problem that came was I started doing what I wanted to do. Okay, I started to move through my flesh, and I'm not walking in God's purpose. How do I say this? I cannot be doing God's work if I'm doing it for myself, right? And that's to the point that I got in my music about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. I started to care more about my image. How do I appeal to other people versus doing what God is asking me to do? And then that trickled, that started to affect my relationships. That started to affect how I showed up for myself and how I was showing up in my relationship with God. Like, it just wasn't working out. So I had to pull myself completely away from everything, everybody, and just realign, read my Bible, go to God with my problems until God told me, okay, you're ready. Let's do it again. And better yet, let's do it again with you following my directions this time. So that's kind of where I'm at. And that's kind of how the podcast came along, because I would have never really thought I was going to do a podcast until about a year ago. I was on my way to work. And at this time, I had about a 45-minute commute to work. So I had nothing but time to listen to music, to listen to podcasts. And then one day I was listening to In Totality. And I was like, oh my God, I could see myself doing this. I could really see myself doing this. But I didn't immediately jump into it and start a podcast. I was like, no, I'm going to simmer on it. I'm going to wait. And so that's where we're at right now. I told myself, if I don't do it now, I'm probably never going to do it. Because I have this problem with showing up for myself. Because I want everything to be done perfectly. Like, no, I can't start a podcast because I don't have a good setup. I don't have a great microphone. I don't have a camera. Well, look at me now, y'all. I'm recording off my phone with the clip on my shirt microphone, because I told myself, you know what? It doesn't matter at this point. I just need to start showing up for myself. I will be 25 this year. I'm in my mid-20s. And am I going to keep waiting? Like, am I going to keep waiting and be 30, 40 and still have nothing to show for because I want to keep waiting for perfection? No, I don't have any time left to do that. And another reason was also because I was pregnant. I just had a baby in July of this year. I found out I was pregnant in November of 2024. Yeah, I just wanted a peaceful pregnancy. I didn't want to be in the mix. I didn't want to go out. I really didn't want to be on social media. Like, I just wanted to be at peace in my pregnancy. That brings me to another point that God revealed to me in my time off, was that you take away my name, you take away my income, you take away my hobbies, my friends. All I have left is God and my family. I'm a mom, so I really needed to make sure I was showing up for them. Like I said in the beginning, I was getting way too caught up in myself that I was neglecting other relationships. So it was really important to me that I was showing up and setting an example, because now I have 2 daughters. I have 2 little girls that look up to me. So it was super important to me that, I was being the best role model that I can be and learning how to balance business and my family life. But now I feel like I've done a pretty good job at that, and I'm ready to take on more tasks and more responsibility and really push forward. This is me breaking my silence and choosing to move forward in the uncomfortable, because I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It feels a little weird sitting right now in my daughter's room, because my baby is asleep in my room. My fiance's in the studio talking to myself. Because, like, if y'all sit down with me and y'all have a conversation, like, one-on-one, I'm a great conversationalist. Sitting down talking in front of a camera, it just feels a little weird. But it's okay, because I'm trying to get out of that, because a lot of the things that I want to do in my life is like public speaking and making content. So I kind of got to get out of that. And so this is going to push me to be able to break that barrier. I also decided that this is the year that I took an exit out of my people-pleasing era. I'm pretty sure that we have all fallen victim to some sort of trying to make everybody happy. Well, this year I decided it's bigger than me now. Okay, I got a man to take care of. I got my children. Anybody who does not live in my house, sorry, but fuck how you feeling. Excuse my language. This is my podcast, so I don't know if I can cuss, if I'm supposed to cuss. I'm not going to be cussing a lot. Let me just get that out there. Veer off subject for a minute. I'm working on that as well in my daily life, that I don't really use foul language anymore. So, but in times like this, fuck that, okay? It is what it is. Another thing, too, that if you follow me on social media, I have posted the rebrand. Your girl is going through a rebrand, and that is not just online and in my business. That is in my daily life. That I have been working on myself so much in this past year and working on my character, that it's a rebrand all the way around. And with that being said, I do want to touch on rebranding in this episode with you guys. Let's talk about my business, the rebrand there, and what you guys can expect this year in 2026. So before I sat down to record this episode, I kind of planned it out, made a list of what I wanted to be talking about, and I wrote down 2 words when I got to the rebranding section. That was aesthetic and intentional. If you do follow me on social medias, you will see that I've tried to take a more aesthetic approach to my feed, especially like on Instagram. For me, I don't know about y'all, but I love an aesthetic feed. I love like when colors match and when it just looks pleasing to the eye. Like, it makes me want to engage and it makes me want to see more. Because like I said, I don't know about y'all. I'm going to use my fiance's Instagram as an example. When I go to his Instagram, there is no aesthetic. Everything is everywhere and it just gives me a headache. I wanted my feed to look like, oh, this is nice and it looks all laid out. I want to know what she's talking about. That has been one of my approaches in the rebrand of my business, was being able to show it for myself in an aesthetic, eye-pleasing way, because I feel like it does help the viewer engage. I've tried to take more professional photos and also quality over quantity with my content. Like, I don't want to just be putting content out every day, putting content out every day, and there's no thought behind it. That takes me to my next word, intentional. I have been planning ahead with my posts. I've planned out all my episodes for this season, y'all, so I'm really excited for what is in store. Planning ahead, because it also helps me to hold myself accountable and show myself grace, because life is fast. Life moves so fast. Especially over here, I have so much on my daily to-do list. I gotta take care of a 4-month-old baby. By the time I drop this episode, oh my gosh, she'll be like probably about to be 6 months. You see what I'm saying? Life moves fast. And then I have a kindergartner. I'm taking her and picking her up to school every day. doing her activities, and, at home, my daily chores and the tasks that I have to do here, going to work, showing up for myself in my own business, y'all. It can be so much. And that is where I will personally go wrong, is I will be putting all these other things above my business because I'm not seeing my business, actively bring me, back something. I'm not seeing the rewards right now of my fruit. And, that's the wrong mindset. And it's because I'm not consistently putting the work into my business to consistently see a reward. I also feel like I'm letting you guys down by doing that, because I know that there are people who are listening to my music. There's somebody right now listening to this podcast. I know the people who view my content. So it's just a system I've created that will be able to let me show up, because I'm creating batch content. I'm creating everything beforehand, having it scheduled to post, and I'm also using this app where I'm able to see my Instagram feed before I even drop it. So I'm already like, okay, cool, if it's the aesthetic, and I can just live my life instead of being in the drive line to pick up my daughter from school and being like, oh my God, I forgot to post today. I don't have to worry about any of that. This system I've created, it allows me to show myself grace, because we all have these days. I mean, we're humans, where I don't want to do it. I don't want to get up. I don't want to get on social media. I don't want to go and create a video today. I look like crap today. Life be lifing. So this way I've been able to show myself grace to where I'm able to show up online, show up in my daily life, and also show up for myself, all while being able to sit back, put my feet up, drink my coffee, and just chill. Because, that's the goal, right? So, as we begin to wrap up this episode, it's been a pretty short episode, but I want to get into what to expect out of the podcast and just what to expect in 2026. Share some of the things that I've been working on and hope to share with you guys this year. So first and foremost with the podcast, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to be having any guests on this first season, mainly because I'm, just starting. I'm trying to get into the routine of doing a podcast myself. I don't honestly know how that's going to look like right now, bringing on guests and having to kind of work around their schedules when I already have an unset schedule. So once I get more comfortable in the routine of creating my podcast, then I definitely want to have guests on here. If you do want to be a guest potentially in the future, I am working on a kind of like a guest form where you'll be able to go fill out this form, and then we'll be able to talk beforehand, are you a good fit, and so on and so forth. Like I said, that's still in the works, but just know to expect that you may not see anybody featured on this first season, but that is totally not a set thing. Would love to have people come and bounce ideas back and forth, even if we do something like Zoom, or it doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm still brainstorming and thinking how all that's going to play out. I am a conversationalist, so those episodes might be pretty lengthy. The next thing you guys can expect is I do plan on having episodes out every Saturday. You see what I did there? But for every Saturday, you guys can expect a new episode. We will also be talking about my journey pretty much on this podcast. There's no specific topic that's gonna probably go untouched. But when I used to work at the gym, y'all, my coworkers would literally call them Sav stories. Anytime I thought I was just telling y'all a normal story, they'd be like, here, go another Sav story, because apparently my stories are kind of off the wall. So y'all can look forward to that. Y'all can look forward to some of my Sav stories. Y'all can also expect to hear Selah in the background probably while I'm recording, because I've heard her a couple times since I've played back some of the audio, and I can't help it, y'all. And I'm not going to keep stopping and going back to re-record just because I hear Selah in the background. Like that. She's a talkative baby. I don't know what to tell y'all. And I'm a mommy. So either you're with it or you're not with it. If you're not with it, it's okay. I understand it's not everybody's cup of tea. But I feel like most of the girlies that are going to get on here, they're going to understand. So just expect that. You're going to probably hear my children because they love their mom. They just want to be around me all the time. Yeah, y'all are lucky. Like I said, Genesis is not here right now. She's at my sister-in-law's house. But if she was here, I'm already knowing I would have to stop and pause and be like, can you please go play in your room? Mommy's recording right now. Multiple times. My upstairs neighbors are also really loud, so I don't even know. I haven't really played it back long enough to see if I've heard them in this episode. But if you ever hear them while I'm recording, I'm just going to apologize in advance. They are unnecessarily loud all the time. Like, I don't know who live up there, y'all. Shrek. Because they be stomping and just loud for no reason. Like, it's like they find whatever room that you're in and they just go and bang in their apartment upstairs in that same room and just disrupt. It's super annoying. We told our landlord, but he don't do nothing about it. If you hear them, I apologize. If you also hear my fiance, I apologize because he lives in his studio. Yeah, I just have a loud household, y'all. I love it though. I don't take it for granted because I grew up an only child. It is what it is. I love it here. It can be annoying sometimes when I'm trying to work like I am right now. So I will just let y'all know in advance that I probably can't control all the background noises from time to time. So aside from the podcast, some more stuff that you can expect this year in 2026. I have been working on some new music. I am hoping to have that out by spring 2026. But I honestly don't have a timeline. It'll just kind of happen when it happens. I do plan on having a bunch of digital products. I do also run a little side hustle for women entrepreneurs. So if you have not, please check that out. I would totally love if you guys would just take a look into that and engage with $AB LLC. But yeah, super excited about the products that are coming out this year. I have ebooks, planners, all kinds of stuff ready to be dropped. So that you can expect this year as well. Oh, and one more thing I did forget to mention earlier, what to expect in the podcast. Right now, everything is just audio, but I really do have the intention of creating this to be visual. You know, I just need to set up. I need to get my camera and all of that back in order before I can drop any visuals to the podcast. So just be on the lookout for that, because you know I'll definitely keep you updated. But as of right now, this is where you can find me on YouTube, on Spotify, and so on and so forth. That brings us to the end of this episode, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate that you guys have tuned in. It means the most to me. I look forward to more episodes that are to come. I'm super excited that, you know, I've taken this step forward to start this podcast. Also, before we go, the beat behind this, Meeks made this. I will link his beats towards, that way you can check them out. He doesn't make just lofi beats. He hates when I call them lofi beats, but that's what they are. But yeah, does also make exclusives as well. So if you are an artist, check him out. And he is always throwing out good deals. So check out that. And until next time, sincerely, Sav.